Anthony Joshua against Ruiz. That's the first topic we have today. It was the heavyweight championship of the world for all 4 titles. Yes, they fought for all 4 titles. The IBF, the WBO, the WBC, and the WB. Dang, I'm gonna show you. Let's look at the fight record so that you know what we're talking about. This is the fight record of Anthony Joshua. You see it basically here. Anthony Joshua has only 1 loss. 24 fights. You see that up there? 24 fights. Anthony Joshua with 24 fights. This is, by the way, from Wikipedia. And 23 wins. Isn't that crazy? 24 fights, 23 wins, and only 1 loss. And that loss was against Andy Ruiz. That's his first loss. And what is also crazy, Anthony Joshua is a great knockouter. He's got 21 wins by knockout. It's crazy. 21 wins by knockout. And there you see the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He won the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, and the IBO heavyweight titles. So all 4 of the titles in Anthony Joshua's hands. And then what happened here, and that was a big surprise, in June. On June 1st, he fought Andy Ruiz, the Mexican. I never heard of Andy Ruiz before, and maybe many of you also never heard of Andy Ruiz before. And so it was a huge upset and a huge surprise when Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. And the thing is, what really happened in that first fight is Andy Ruiz is very dangerous in the in-fight, and we're going to see that. He's heavy, he's fast. He doesn't really look so trained, but you never know. Under the huge body, there's also a lot of muscles. So he hit really hard, and it was actually a technical knockout. So it was not only the first loss, it was also a knockout win for Andy Ruiz. Crazy, in round 12. And then only a few months later here on December 7th, that's when it was, Andy Ruiz fought the rematch with all the titles on the line again against Anthony Joshua. So that was basically the rematch, and as you see here, Anthony Joshua won the title again. I told you already, the link to the video is in the video description. I will of course not show you the full fight or anything, but this is basically the video that what you want to look for. The link to that video is in the video description. All the stuff I show you is from that video about Ruiz against Joshua 2. It's from the highlights clip from the zone. From the zone. So that's basically the video you want to look for if you want to watch the highlights of the match. First, it started with the face-off. Actually, we got to go back here, and I want to show the face-off. I got a picture here of the face-off of the 2 fighters. That's how they looked. That's how they looked. Joshua, you can tell that guy here, that's Joshua. He's very determined. He's really determined to win the match. You can tell. I'm not so sure about Ruiz. He looks a little bit nervous. Maybe a little bit intimidated. I don't really think so, actually. He's smaller, of course. He's heavier. He gained 7 kilograms since the last fight they had. And that's really huge. So rumors had that Ruiz was not training that hard because he won the titles. He was... rumors were that he wasn't training so hard. He had a lot of interviews with news outlets and stuff. So it was told that he didn't train that hard, but he was the heavyweight champion at the time, fighting against Anthony Joshua, and he was certainly willing to fight, you know. He's a tough fighter, that's for sure. But I'm not sure, or we know now. But the question really was here, is he capable? Is he capable of beating Anthony Joshua when Anthony Joshua is prepared for him? Because what you may not know, that in the first match, Ruiz was like a replacement fighter going against Joshua. So Joshua probably was not really that prepared for the match. And Had Joshua really learned from the first match? Would he repeat the same mistakes, or would he know how to fight him? Did he really learn? Because we know that Ruiz is very dangerous on the in-fight because he's a little bit smaller. He's really hard to get a hold of, and then he slips below the guard and punches really hard, and we're gonna see that. We have a little video bite or sound bite of that one where you will actually see how fast this Andy Ruiz really is. It's really, really crazy. He's really strong. But first of all, the match started really strategically. Like, I mean, Anthony, he was boxing and Ruiz was trying to get close but couldn't really get close. And then in round 2, something happened. Andy Ruiz already got hit by a strong punch and he got cut. He got a cut here on the eyebrow, actually on this one, which is kind of untypical to get a cut like that from a punch. And I want to show you that clip here because it's really showing also the problem he has as a smaller fighter. So here's the clip and let's show it. Really look at the punch. Anthony Joshua is making that huge punch and Andy Ruiz trying to get close and basically really walks into that punch. This is what happened here. See that punch? Crazy punch here. Once again, a beautiful punch here. Bang! And you can tell that he's really shaken by that punch, and from that punch he really got that cut here. So yeah, you gotta be careful as a smaller guy not to walk into those punches. That's really dangerous. But I think he wasn't really hurt, and he kept on fighting. It wasn't bleeding that much, this cut that he had. It wasn't bleeding that much, and so he could go on with the fight. And yeah, you know, he's got the heart of a warrior. He's a really tough man to beat here. And then what really happened here, and yeah, as I said, if you want to watch the match, you click the link and you can watch all those highlights. But what then happened is, Anthony Joshua, he learned from his mistakes from the first match. And what he did, he fought very tactically. He would not go into the in-fight at all. Anthony Joshua, he fought very tactical, really didn't give him any chance to get close, to get his punches. You could always tell that Ruiz is dangerous when he's close, but in the end, Anthony Joshua, it was a great demonstration of skill, but it was also kind of boring to watch because Ruiz really, he did not have a chance to get anywhere near close to Joshua. When Anthony Joshua boxed him, the commentator compared him to Muhammad Ali, and I think that's not right. I think that's not the right comparison, to be honest. I think he's a great fighter. Usually Anthony Joshua, he's really going aggressive. I mean, I showed you, he's got 21 knockouts. So he's a great puncher. But he lost last time doing his usual fighting. And so this time he fought more careful. And it became a more boring boxing match. But I really hope he will not continue like that. I mean, I understand him totally for doing it this way. It just makes sense. I mean, in the end, it's just about winning. But it wasn't such a great match, actually, to watch. Because he really showed that he's got huge skill. And we've seen in this match that Ruiz, he really has problem to get anywhere close. But the thing is, Ruiz very dangerous when he explodes at the opponent. He's a smaller fighter. When you let him get too close to you, what then happens? I want to show you that. The in-fight with Ruiz is really dangerous. Because you try to hold him, he's going to slip below your arms and he's going to punch very fast. And with his huge mass, he's really going to hit you very hard. And I just want to show you that as an example, how this exactly happened. Look at this. He's close and then he's punching like really heavy, fast punches, and that's really dangerous. And you can also see here, Anthony Joshua, he's really wise to not take any risks here. Because this is really dangerous punch. Look at that punch here. Wham! Right below the chin he hits him. So you can tell that Ruiz, he was really, really dangerous. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you have any questions so far. Of course, Ruiz was a very courageous fighter. He just had no chance of getting anywhere close, Anthony Joshua. And then in the end, Ruiz, you could also tell he was a little bit frustrated, and that showed right here. And you don't want to do that, actually, what he did there. He was basically trying to get close to Joshua. He couldn't. And then at the very last seconds, he kind of said, hey, come on, let's fight now. Let's fight. Stand still and fight. But, I mean, that's this scene here. But, I mean, it would just be very stupid. Never you want to do that. You never want to go into that and be lured into actually fighting when you're just outboxing him and winning by points. So that wouldn't be really smart of Joshua. But we have to say Ruiz is a very courageous fighter. This is how it ended. Anthony Joshua, the champion again. Now, the thing is this. Ruiz was not really that trained, it seems. He had 7 kilograms overweight. And then he said, it's 1-1. I won last time, he won this time. I want a rematch. Honestly, my opinion, currently he doesn't deserve a rematch. That's just my opinion, because he really did not have a chance in this fight. And I feel like a rematch, it would basically just be the same thing. Like Anthony Joshua taking no risks, just boxing like that and just winning it. And Ruiz, again, because he's smaller and because Anthony Joshua now really knows his style, would never be in trouble fighting him. That's what I think. So maybe he should fight other opponents first and maybe then get a second chance. But I'm currently, I don't want to see the third match, honestly, because it would just be the same thing, in my opinion. I just hope that Joshua, he was a great knockout before, and I hope he will not start fighting like the same thing that happened to Klitschko, actually. He lost a few times and then he started boxing very strategically, just keeping the distance and making sure he's not getting hit. And I really hope this is not going to happen to Joshua, because we want to see him. We want to see aggressive fights. We want to see more aggressive fights by Joshua, where he really takes risks. And that's also the reason why I think it's different. You cannot compare Joshua with Ali yet, because Ali, he was a warrior, you know. Muhammad Ali, he was a warrior. He was always going all or nothing. He was also bouncing, of course, but he also was a great warrior and a great fighter. Let's see what you think. Ark says, I disagree. If Ruiz is lighter, he would be able to catch up. Maybe. I mean, that's certainly true. With 8 kilograms more, he was a little bit slower. And whenever he got close, he's really dangerous. I just feel like Joshua is too well prepared at the moment. And yeah, Ruiz, he should get a second chance, but probably he should fight others first. How do you go into a heavyweight championship match and not be prepared and 8 kilograms overweight? That's really sad. You shouldn't do that. I think Ruiz, he really has to train. He really has to lose that weight. And then he's got to prove against another fighter first. And then he should get a third chance. But not now. That's just my opinion. My humble opinion about that. If you're not into boxing, the next topic may be for you.